Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, dear viewers. Welcome back to Nur Stories. If you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to hit that button and turn on the bell so you don't miss our weekly episodes. Have you ever felt like you were the only one who saw things differently? Like everyone around you was following a path that just didn't make sense? Today, we're diving into the incredible story of a man who stood alone against his entire society for what he believed in. This is the story of Prophet Ibrahim, also known as Abraham, and his powerful journey from doubt to unwavering faith. Picture a bustling ancient city, Ur of the Chaldees, in what is now modern-day Iraq. This city was advanced for its time, but its people were deeply immersed in the worship of idols. They crafted statues from stone and wood, believing these inanimate objects held power over their lives, their fortunes, and their futures. In this very city, a young man named Ibrahim was born. His own father, Azar, was a renowned idol maker, sculpting the very gods the people prayed to. From a young age, Ibrahim was different. He was blessed with a keen intellect and a curious heart. He would look at the sky, the stars, the sun, and the moon, and wonder about the true creator of this vast universe. He'd watch people bow down to the statues his father made, and a simple, powerful question would echo in his mind. How can something made by human hands be a god? How can something that cannot speak, hear, or even defend itself hold any power over us? This wasn't just a fleeting thought for Ibrahim. It was a deep, burning conviction. He couldn't just stand by and watch his people live in this illusion. He had to show them the truth. He began with his own father. Gently, respectfully, he would ask, "Father, why do you worship something that cannot hear or see and can offer you no benefit? These are just names you and your forefathers have invented." But his father, deeply set in his ways and traditions, would become angry, warning Ibrahim to stop questioning the faith of their ancestors. But Ibrahim's spirit was not easily discouraged. He decided to take his message to the wider community. He would go to the public square and engage people in logical debates. He'd say, "Do you really worship what you carve with your own hands? While God is the one who created you and everything you make?" People would listen, some intrigued, but most were resistant. They were comfortable in their traditions. Questioning them meant questioning their entire way of life, their culture, and their identity. They dismissed him as a troublemaker. Ibrahim realized that words alone were not enough. He needed to make a bolder statement, one that would shatter their beliefs in a very literal way. He waited for the perfect opportunity. A great festival was announced, and the entire city, including the king and all the priests, left to celebrate in the countryside. Everyone was gone except for Ibrahim. The grand temple, filled with countless idols of all shapes and sizes, was left unattended. This was his chance. Quietly, Ibrahim entered the temple. In his hand he held an axe. He looked at the rows of silent, lifeless statues. Then, with purpose and conviction, he began his work. He swung the axe, smashing one idol after another, until they were all reduced to a pile of rubble. All, that is, except for one. He left the largest idol untouched. Then he carefully placed the axe in the hand of this one remaining statue and walked away. When the people returned from their festival, they were horrified. They rushed to the temple to find their precious gods destroyed. There was chaos and outrage. "Who could have done this to our gods?" they cried out. Someone immediately remembered Ibrahim and his constant criticism of their beliefs. "We heard a young man named Ibrahim speaking ill of them," they said. Ibrahim was immediately summoned before the king Nimrod and the angry crowd. "Was it you who did this to our gods, Ibrahim?" they demanded. Ibrahim, calm and composed, looked at them and then pointed to the large idol still standing with the axe in its hand. He replied, "No, it was the big one who did it. Ask them if they can speak." The crowd fell silent. They looked at each other, confused. The absurdity of his statement began to dawn on them. Of course the statue couldn't have done it. Of course the statues couldn't speak. In that moment of silence, Ibrahim had forced them to confront the illogical nature of their own beliefs. They knew he was right. They had to admit it, at least to themselves. "You know very well that these idols do not speak," they muttered, defeated. Seizing the moment, Ibrahim pressed his point. "Then why do you worship things that can neither benefit you nor harm you? Shame on you and what you worship instead of the one true God. Don't you have any sense?" His words hit them hard. He had exposed the core falsehood of their religion in front of everyone. But logic and truth can be threatening to those in power. King Nimrod, his authority challenged and his religion publicly humiliated, was furious. He couldn't win the argument with reason, so he resorted to brute force. The verdict was swift and brutal. Ibrahim must be burned alive as a punishment for his blasphemy and as a warning to anyone else who dared to question their ways. The entire city participated in building a massive pyre. They gathered wood for days, creating a fire so large that no one could get close to it. They built a catapult to hurl Ibrahim into the heart of the raging inferno. The moment came. Ibrahim was placed on the catapult. As he was flung through the air towards the towering flames, he didn't cry out in fear. He didn't beg for mercy. He simply put his complete and total trust in his Creator, saying, "Hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakil. God is sufficient for us, and He is the best disposer of affairs." And then a miracle happened. Just as Ibrahim was about to be consumed by the fire, a divine command was issued. "O fire, be coolness and safety upon Ibrahim." The raging, scorching flames instantly became cool and harmless for him. The fire burned the ropes that bound him, but it did not touch him. He sat in the middle of the fire as if he were in a peaceful garden. The people, including King Nimrod, watched in stunned disbelief. They had expected to see him perish, to see their power confirmed. Instead, they witnessed a miracle that defied all laws of nature. They saw Ibrahim walk out of the fire, completely unharmed. It was an undeniable sign, a testament to the power of the one true God that Ibrahim had been calling them to. Even after this incredible miracle, many, including the arrogant King Nimrod, refused to believe. But the seed of doubt had been planted in the hearts of the people. Ibrahim's unwavering courage and the divine intervention that saved him became a legendary story, a powerful testament to the struggle between truth and falsehood. His journey teaches us the importance of questioning what doesn't make sense, of standing for truth, even when you're standing alone, and of having unshakable faith in a higher purpose. It's a reminder that true strength doesn't come from a crowd, but from conviction. Thank you so much for joining me on this incredible journey through history and faith. After Ibrahim smashed the idols and exposed their powerlessness, the people were furious. Their pride was wounded, their traditions humiliated. The elders, priests, and even his own father were enraged. The Qur'an describes their reaction. They said, "Burn him and support your gods if you are to act." Surah Al-Anbiya 21-68. This was not just anger, it was desperation. Ibrahim had struck at the very foundation of their belief system. He had shown that their gods could not defend themselves, could not speak, could not act. The people felt exposed, vulnerable, and ashamed. And when falsehood is exposed, it often responds with violence. The whispers grew into shouts. "Burn him! Burn him! Let the fire consume him!" When truth exposes falsehood, falsehood often responds with rage. The people decided to build a fire unlike any seen before. They gathered wood for days, piling it high until it became a mountain of fuel. The flames roared so fiercely that no one could approach it directly. Historical narrations describe that the fire was so intense that birds flying overhead would fall from the sky, scorched by the heat. The people stood back, marveling at the inferno they had created. But there was a problem. The fire was too hot to approach. How could they throw Ibrahim into it? Their hatred was so strong that they devised a solution. They constructed a massive catapult, a device that could hurl Ibrahim into the flames without anyone needing to get close. The fire was not just physical, it was symbolic of their hatred and defiance against Allah's truth. As Ibrahim was bound and prepared for the catapult, he remained calm. He did not cry out in fear, nor did he beg for mercy from his people. Instead, he turned his heart completely to Allah. According to narrations, Angel Jibreel came to him and asked, "Do you need anything?" Ibrahim replied, "From you, nothing. From Allah, everything." This response shows his absolute reliance on Allah alone. He did not seek help from creation, only from the Creator. In moments of trial, Ibrahim did not look to the crowd for help, he looked to the Creator. Ibrahim was launched into the blazing inferno. The crowd watched, expecting him to be consumed instantly. But Allah commanded. We said, "O fire, be coolness and safety for Ibrahim." Surah Al-Anbiya 21-69. The flames obeyed. The fire lost its heat, becoming a place of peace and safety. Ibrahim sat calmly within, unharmed, as if resting in a garden. Ibrahim emerged from the fire without a single burn. This miracle shook the people. Some believed, while others hardened their hearts further. The Qur'an records, "And they intended for him harm, but we made them the greatest losers." Surah Al-Anbiya 21-70. This event cemented Ibrahim's role as a prophet of unwavering faith, inspiring generations to come. The trial by fire teaches us timeless lessons: faith in adversity. Trust Allah even when the world turns against you. Reliance on Allah alone. Ibrahim's refusal to seek help from anyone, but Allah shows pure Tawheed. Falsehood cannot withstand truth. No matter how fierce the opposition, Allah's will prevails. Miracles are signs of Allah's power. The fire obeyed Allah's command, showing that all creation submits to Him. In the next chapter, we'll explore how Prophet Ibrahim continued his mission, calling people to Tawheed and becoming known as Khalilullah, the friend of Allah. In chapter 1, we saw Prophet Ibrahim challenge idol worship. In chapter 2, we witnessed the dramatic trial by fire, where Allah saved him from destruction. Today, in chapter 3, we embark on a long journey through Ibrahim's mission, calling humanity to Tawheed, the worship of Allah alone, and how he became Khalilullah, the friend of Allah. This chapter is a story of dialogue, sacrifice, and legacy. Let's begin. The fire had roared like a beast, consuming everything in its path. The people had gathered, expecting to see Ibrahim reduced to ashes. But when the flames subsided, he stood unharmed, calm and radiant. The crowd gasped. Some whispered in awe, others clenched their fists in anger. The miracle was undeniable, yet pride blinded many. They refused to accept the truth. Ibrahim's survival was not just a miracle, it was a declaration. Allah had shown his power, and Ibrahim's mission was now unstoppable. He walked among his people, not with arrogance, but with humility, reminding them, "Do you worship what you carve while Allah created you and what you do?" At home, Ibrahim faced his greatest challenge, not the fire, not the crowd, but his own father, Azar. Azar was a devoted idol maker. His livelihood depended on carving figures that others worshipped. Ibrahim approached him gently. "O my father, why do you worship that which does not hear, does not see, and cannot benefit you at all?" Azar frowned. His son's words cut deep. Ibrahim continued, "O my father, indeed there has come to me knowledge which has not come to you, so follow me. I will guide you to a straight path." But Azar's pride was stronger than reason. He snapped, "If you do not desist, I will surely stone you. So avoid me for a prolonged time." Ibrahim's response was filled with compassion. "Peace be upon you. I will ask forgiveness for you from my Lord." This moment shows the perfect balance of firmness in faith and gentleness in character. Ibrahim did not compromise his belief, yet he did not respond with anger. Word of Ibrahim's defiance spread beyond his town. It reached the ears of Nimrod, the mighty king who claimed divinity for himself. Nimrod summoned Ibrahim. The court was filled with guards, nobles, and priests. The king sat on his throne, draped in gold, his arrogance filling the room. He asked Ibrahim, "Who is your Lord?" Ibrahim replied without hesitation, "My Lord is the one who gives life and causes death." Nimrod smirked. He ordered 2 prisoners to be brought forward. He executed one and spared the other. "See," he boasted, "I give life and cause death." But Ibrahim was not shaken. He presented a challenge that silenced the king and his entire court. He countered, "Indeed, Allah brings the sun from the east, so bring it from the west." The court fell silent. Nimrod's face darkened. He had no answer. His claim to divinity crumbled before the undeniable truth. One evening, Ibrahim stood beneath the vast, star-filled sky, contemplating the universe. The stars glittered like diamonds. He thought, "Could this be my Lord?" But as dawn approached, the stars faded away. Then the moon rose bright and beautiful. Could this be my Lord? He wondered. But when morning came, the moon, too, disappeared. Later, the sun rose in all its brilliance. Surely this must be my Lord. It is the greatest of all. Yet as evening fell, the sun also vanished. Ibrahim then declared, "I do not love those that set." He realized that the true Creator must be eternal, ever-present, never fading. He proclaimed, "Indeed, I have turned my face toward him who created the heavens and the earth, inclining toward truth, and I am not of those who associate others with Allah." This was his journey of pure logic and spiritual discovery, leading him to the one unchanging God. Years later, Ibrahim traveled to Makkah with his son Ismail. Together they raised the foundations of the Kaaba, the house of Allah. As they built, brick by brick, they prayed with pure devotion, "Our Lord, accept this from us. Indeed, you are the hearing, the knowing." The Kaaba became the center of Tawheed, a sacred place of worship for all of humanity, a symbol of unity under one God. Every brick they laid was a declaration of faith, every prayer a legacy for generations to come. This act cemented Ibrahim's role not just as a prophet, but as a builder of community and a unifier of believers, establishing a focal point for worship that endures to this day. One night, Ibrahim had a dream. He saw himself sacrificing his beloved son, Ismail. This was no ordinary dream. It was a divine command. With a heavy heart, he told Ismail, "O my son, indeed I have seen in a dream that I must sacrifice you, so see what you think." Imagine the weight of those words. But Ismail's response was a testament to his own unwavering faith. He replied, "O my father, do as you are commanded. You will find me, if Allah wills, of the steadfast." With tears in his eyes, Ibrahim prepared to fulfill the command. But just as he was about to make the ultimate sacrifice, Allah intervened. "You have fulfilled the vision." A ram was provided in place of Ismail. This test was not about blood, it was about complete submission. Ibrahim proved that his love for Allah was greater than his love for anything else, even his own child. Through his unwavering faith and constant submission, Ibrahim earned the highest honor, the title Khalilullah, the friend of Allah. The Qur'an says, "And Allah took Ibrahim as a friend." This title reflects a profound intimacy, love, and closeness to Allah. Ibrahim's entire life was a series of tests, and each one was met with absolute faith and submission. Friendship with Allah is not given, it is earned through obedience, sacrifice, and trust. His story is a powerful reminder that the path to closeness with our Creator is paved with our willingness to put Him first in all aspects of our lives. So what can we learn from the incredible mission of Prophet Ibrahim? First, the importance of calling to Tawheed, inviting others to worship Allah alone. Second, the need for respect and dialogue. Even when rejected, we should respond with gentleness and pray for others. Third, having courage against tyranny and standing firm against false power. Fourth, building a legacy of worship by establishing institutions that preserve and promote our faith. Fifth, being ready for sacrifice for Allah, willing to give up what we love most for His sake. And finally, constantly seeking closeness to Allah, striving to become His friend through obedience and devotion. Ibrahim's story is not just history, it is a roadmap for our faith today, a guide to living a life of purpose and submission. The desert stretched endlessly, its sands shimmering under the blazing sun. Ibrahim walked steadily, his wife Hajar carrying their infant son, Ismail, close to her chest. They had traveled far, guided not by maps or human reason, but by divine command. Finally, they reached a barren valley, silent, lifeless, with no vegetation, no water, no inhabitants. Ibrahim stopped. His heart trembled, for this was the place Allah had chosen. He turned to Hajar and began to leave. Hajar, bewildered, asked, "O Ibrahim, where are you going? Are you leaving us here?" He did not answer until she asked, "Has Allah commanded you to do this?" Isham replied, "Yes." Her response was filled with faith. "Then He will not abandon us." This moment was the beginning of a legacy rooted in trust in Allah. Days passed, and their provisions ran out. Baby Ismail cried in thirst. Hajar's heart ached. She ran between the hills of Safa and Marwa, desperately searching for water. She ran 7 times, her heart pounding, her feet aching, her eyes scanning the horizon. Then, by Allah's mercy, water gushed forth beneath Ismail's tiny feet. This was the spring of Zamzam. Hajar quickly contained the water, and life began to flourish in the barren valley. Birds came, tribes settled, and Makkah became a place of life and worship. Years later, Ibrahim returned to Makkah. Ismail had grown into a strong young man. Together, father and son raised the foundations of the Kaaba. As they built, they prayed, "Our Lord, accept this from us. Indeed, you are the hearing, the knowing." Surah Al-Baqarah 2-127. They also prayed, "Our Lord, make us Muslims in submission to you, and from our descendants a Muslim nation in submission to you." Surah Al-Baqarah 2-128. The Kaaba became the center of Tawheed, a beacon for all humanity. One night Ibrahim had a dream. He saw himself sacrificing his beloved son, Ismail. He told Ismail, "O my son, indeed I have seen in a dream that I must sacrifice you, so see what you think." Surah As-Safat 37-102. Ismail replied with unwavering faith, "O my father, do as you are commanded. You will find me, if Allah wills, of the steadfast." With tears in his eyes, Ibrahim prepared to fulfill the command. But Allah intervened. "You have fulfilled the vision." Surah As-Safat 37-105. A ram was provided in place of Ismail. This event became the foundation of Eid al-Adha, a reminder of submission and sacrifice. Ibrahim was also blessed with another son, Ishaq, through his wife Sarah. Ishaq grew into a prophet, continuing his father's mission of Tawheed. From Ishaq came Jacob, and from Jacob came the 12 tribes of Israel. This lineage carried the message of Allah through prophets like Musa, Moses, Daud, David, Suleiman, Solomon, and Isa, Jesus. Through Ismail came the lineage that led to Prophet Muhammad Saul. Through Ishaq came the lineage of the prophets of Bani Israel. Thus Ibrahim became the father of nations, a patriarch whose legacy shaped Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. The Qur'an says, "And we gave him Ishaq and Jacob all, of them we guided. And Noah we guided before, and among his descendants Daud and Suleiman, and Hayab and Yusuf and Musa and Harun. And thus do we reward the doers of good." Surah Al-An'am 6-84. Ibrahim prayed not only for his sons, but for future generations. "Our Lord, send among them a messenger from themselves who will recite to them your verses and teach them the book and wisdom and purify them." Surah Al-Baqarah 2-129. This dua was fulfilled centuries later with the coming of Prophet Muhammad SAW. Ibrahim's legacy teaches us, trust in Allah. Like Hajar, believe that Allah never abandons his servants. Sacrifice for Allah, like Ibrahim and Ismail. Surrender what you love most. Build for the future. Like the Kaaba, create institutions that preserve faith. Pray for generations. Like Ibrahim, make dua not just for yourself, but for your descendants. Universal faith. Recognize that Ibrahim's mission connects humanity across religions. In the next chapter, we'll explore how his descendants carried the torch of prophecy, and how his mission continues to inspire believers today. The story of Ibrahim begins at home, in the workshop of his father, Azar. The air was thick with the scent of wood shavings and stone dust. All around, idols lined the shelves, their lifeless eyes staring blankly. Into this room walked a young Ibrahim. His voice was calm, yet carried a firm conviction. "O my father," he asked, "why do you worship that which does not hear, does not see, and cannot benefit you at all?" Azar stopped working. His chisel paused in midair. His son's words were sharper than any tool he owned. Isham continued, "O my father, knowledge has come to me that has not come to you, so follow me. I will guide you to a straight and noble path." But Azar's pride was wounded. He snapped back, "If you don't stop this, I will surely have you stoned. Now leave me and stay away for a long time." Even in the face of this threat, Ibrahim's response was filled with love and compassion. "Peace be upon you," he said gently. "I will ask forgiveness for you from my Lord." This first debate shows us a beautiful balance. Ibrahim was firm in his faith, yet he never responded with anger or disrespect. Word of Ibrahim's defiance soon spread beyond his small town, reaching the palace of the powerful King Nimrod, a ruler who arrogantly claimed to be a god himself. Nimrod summoned Ibrahim to his court. The grand hall was filled with guards, nobles, and priests. The king sat on his golden throne, his arrogance filling the entire room. "Who is your lord?" Nimrod demanded. Ibrahim replied without hesitation, "My Lord is the one who gives life and causes death." Nimrod just smirked. He ordered 2 prisoners to be brought forward. He had one executed and set the other free. See? He boasted, "I give life and cause death." But Ibrahim was not shaken. He presented a challenge that Nimrod couldn't manipulate. "Indeed, Allah brings the sun from the east, so bring it from the west." The entire court fell silent. Nimrod's face darkened with rage. He had no answer. His claim to divinity crumbled instantly before this simple, undeniable truth. Ibrahim also guided his people using the world around them. One evening he stood beneath the vast, starry sky. Looking at a bright star, he wondered, could this be my Lord? But as dawn approached, the star faded away. Then the moon rose full and luminous. Could this be my Lord? He thought. But when morning came, the moon, too, disappeared. Finally, the sun appeared, rising in all its brilliance. Surely this must be my Lord. This is the greatest of all. Yet, as evening fell, the sun also set and vanished from sight. At that moment, Ibrahim declared, "I do not love those that set." He turned to his people and proclaimed, "Indeed, I have turned my face toward him who created the heavens and the earth, and I am not of those who associate others with Allah." This was a powerful spiritual lesson. The true Creator must be eternal, unlike creations that appear and fade away. To make this point completely undeniable, Ibrahim devised a brilliant plan. One day, while everyone was away at a festival, he went into their temple. He took an axe and smashed all the idols, one by one, until they were nothing but rubble. He left only the largest idol standing, placing the axe in its hand. When the people returned, they were horrified. Their gods lay shattered on the floor. "Who has done this to our gods?" They roared in anger. Soon all fingers pointed to Ibrahim. When they brought him forward, he answered them cleverly. "Well, the big one did it. He is the one left standing. Just ask him. If he can speak, he will tell you what happened." The crowd was stunned into silence. They knew their stone idol couldn't speak or move. In that single moment, the truth was laid bare for all to see. Their gods were completely powerless, unable even to defend themselves. Enraged and humiliated, the leaders decided to make an example of Ibrahim. They built a massive fire, a blaze so large that no one could get near it, and they threw him into the heart of the flames. But just as he was cast in, Allah commanded the fire, "O fire, be coolness and safety for Ibrahim." To the absolute astonishment of everyone watching, Ibrahim emerged from the fire completely unharmed. This was the ultimate debate, one without a single word. The fire itself testified to the power of the one true God. Ibrahim's life was filled with these incredible debates. They were powerful lessons in courage, wisdom, and unshakable faith. He confronted his father with gentleness, his people with logic, and a tyrannical king with undeniable truth. His story reminds us that faith must be defended with wisdom, that falsehood always collapses when confronted with truth, and that we can be firm in our beliefs while still being gentle with others. And above all, it teaches us to trust in Allah during our greatest trials, for He always protects those who rely on Him. Thank you for watching Nur Stories. If you found this inspiring, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Drop a comment below on what lesson from Ibrahim's story touched you the most. And remember, we have more amazing Qur'anic stories waiting for you. So check out our playlist and keep learning with us. Until next time, Assalamu alaikum.